Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good
Sorry
afternoon,
you
sir.
have to wait.
No,
Please
sir.
sit. Sorry you have
Thank
to
you,
wait
sir.
for so long.
No, sir, please.
But anyway, please tell about yourself.
I'm Kashi Shbakshi. I'm 25 years old. I'm a law graduate from NLIU Bhopal. I graduated in 2021. My optional is philosophy. My father is in the army. I was born in Ambala. I'm from Haryana.
Okay. So, being a law graduate, why you have chosen philosophy as your subject?
So while I was studying law, I was introduced to a subject called jurisprudence, which was
Can
very
you be slightly
philosophical.
louder?
Yes, sir. While I was studying law, I was introduced to a subject called jurisprudence, which is very philosophical in nature. That is when I was first introduced to philosophy as a subject. Once I was deciding what I want to choose for UPSC, I went through the philosophy syllabus and it seemed to be really of my interest, so I went with philosophy. Which is when more than 50% of the brain is developed. However, by the time entire gray matter is developed, so it starts from the hypothalamus, which is at the back of the brain, and it keeps on developing till we're 25, is what I have read.
0 to 8, 0 to 6 rather.
Yes, sir.
80% is developed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, what is our country doing about this age group?
So initially, we focused on children from 6 to 14 years of age when we passed the RT and we made our amendments. And currently in the NEP 2020 is when they have introduced an ECC policy, or early childhood care policy, wherein children from 3 years to 6 years will also now be inculcated under RTE for people who are marginalized. Otherwise, people who are well-to-do do join school at 3. So to bring parity.
Okay. But there was a system, there was a scheme which was introduced long back. What is it called?
So is it ICDS?
Yes. Started in which year?
So it's 1970.
Yeah. 76.
76.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, what was its aim or where has it failed?
So ICDS predominantly was focused on the nutrition of pregnant, lactating mothers and these children in the early childhood period.
Yeah.
So, and on that front, it has done well to a certain extent. It has not done
Okay.
away
Okay.
with.
Where has it failed?
So, in terms of inculcating them in formal education, it has not fared that well.
Okay. Now tell me, there is something called now HR people. They have started talking of something more than IQ for recruiting a person. What is it that they are talking of?
EQ,
EQ,
emotional quotient, the emotional quotient of a person.
EQ, and also SQ,
Social.
the spiritual quotient.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So looking at that, I mean, what our country is doing regarding EQ and SQ, if anything.
So, as far as I am aware, while I was in school, till class 8th, moral science as a subject was mandated in all CBSE affiliated schools. That subject in itself does try to inculcate ethics and a general sense of empathy in the person. In addition to that, within the curriculum itself, the English literature and Hindi literature books do try to give that side of an education to a child so that the child can develop holistically in terms of.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that is very, very important for the people to be successful in life, okay? Can you link this with what has been happening in Kota? What has been happening in Kota?
So, students have been committing suicide, which is very unfortunate.
Yes.
The government has taken a few steps.
So, what is missing?
So the moral support, so I would not say it is as much about emotional intelligence of those students, but I feel they lack moral support, emotional support of family, because first of all, most of them are living away from their familial support. They are at a very tender age where they're impressionable and are very susceptible to the stress that the entire ecosystem does provide. And to do away with that, I think the steps that are being taken are very helpful. Recently, I read that the government has said children below 16 years of age shall not be taken in coaching classes. I think that is a good step, because by then the child will be exposed to a lot of other environments where they can develop holistically with their peer and not focus entirely on
Okay.
academics.
Okay, tell me my last question. You see, this when the Britishers left, the Indian administrative civil service became the administrative service later on.
Yes.
Police service also continued, forest service also continued. The imperial judicial service, what was so peculiar about it that in the later on judiciary, they had to go for recruiting advocates directly. So what was the missing link?
So, as far as I'm aware, Indians were not allowed to be judges in cases where either foreigners or Anglo-Indians were involved. And so, the Britishers did try to change this by bringing in the Ilbert Bill during Lord Ripon's period, but that did not follow through, and hence they had to make that change in the setup itself.
Yeah, so when the Britishers left,
Yes, sir.
there were very few officers in the Indian judicial service.
Services who were Indians, yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's why they took directly the advocates.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then after that, what happened?
So, in the constitution itself, the qualifications of Supreme Court and High Court judges is given.
That's okay. Qualification is not the issue.
In terms of appointment,
Yeah,
So-
the advocates who came,
yes, sir.
they enjoyed it so much that they said this is a better system of recruiting rather than having an exam.
Yes, sir. So there was a lot of to and fro between the executive and the judiciary regarding this. 3 judges' cases were passed, which culminated with the collegium, which we still follow, wherein 5 senior-most judges from the Supreme Court with the CJI decide who's going to be the judges for Supreme Court and High Court, higher judiciary.
But do you think it's a fair system?
So, this question of appointment of judges is, I think, controversial throughout jurisdictions. In the USA, they are directly appointed by the president. In UK also, it is not as ironed out as it should be. And the same goes for India. I believe there should be a balance. There should be a parity between executive and judiciary in terms of appointment. Right now, as has been accepted by Justice Kaul when he was retiring, that the collegium system itself can undergo modifications, or NJAC can be brought in with certain modifications.
Right, sir.